It's Friday. It's Friday. Feeling juicy today. And I only had one energy drink today. But I'm just extra energized. You know why?
You just stick with
Because I get to share my time with you, Robin.
Cool.
Crickets? No? Okay. Yeah. Lizard over here got cold blood. Anyways, what's going on, Crypto fam? Happy Friday and welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. I'm one of your hosts, David, and we're coming at you from our studio here in Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada, with our daily, only on the weekdays, live shows. Before we get into the content, quick disclaimer, nothing that anyone says on this channel, especially in the chat, because these guys are crazy, should be taken as financial advice. So please, as always, do your own research. With that out of the way, I'd like to introduce you to the lizard man himself, Big Rob. What's up?
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. It's your first time checking us out. We are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information, and we package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also, here at Sin City Crypto, we don't just do live streams. We also do other content that includes shorts and not-so-short videos and other stuff.
Gym time.
And gym time. Did you like my short at the gym?
You got to hit some traps. You got to hit some shoulder shrugs, bro. Looking a little weak. Traps are looking a little weak. Something I noticed.
Yeah. Oh, glad you're.
Is that a cat with a top hat playing a trumpet? Trumpet?
Yeah, it is a cat playing a trumpet, man. You know,
And a top hat.
that's right.
That's pretty cool. Anything better than Raiders gear, I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. And then what else we got? Like the video.
There you go.
If you're not subscribed yet, knock that out too. And notification bell, muchas gracias.
Sí.
Now, taking a look at the roll call, we got Marky and Mark first up in here. HP Talks, Sir Babe, Chef Murder. We got Handy, Ari Daniel, Eric Handcastle.
Hardcastle.
Call him Handcastle. And then we got Luis, Sean up in here. And then we got Strictly Sports.
Steph Curry.
And then we got Dana Brooks. Is Dana Brooks new?
Dana Brooks is new.
Dana. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also, Olga, HP, and Tox. I think I already said Tox.
Trumpet Kitties, new NFT project. Sounds legit.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Sounds like a 30th floor.
Man.
Road to Cardano NFT Con. We will be there, actually. Sin City Crypto fan, we'll be there at the Cardano NFT convention in Vegas. So if you're local, highly recommend you go. We can hang out. We can make fun of Robin. Rocco will be there. I'll be there. It'll be fun. We'll have a good time. Mm-hmm.
Guess what, man?
What?
Bitcoin crossed 22,000. What that means? I'm putting the bull horns on, baby. Bull market's back, baby.
Hey, before you go all weird on the channel, will you give a shout out to my friend Certified TV?
Certified TV. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. And now, also Atomic Atom. You're 5 minutes late.
Yes.
Just saying, bro.
And are you able to say fashionably late when it's virtual?
No, because there's no fashion in virtual.
Right. I mean, in the metaverse there.
That is in the center, right?
That's right.
All right, so let's get into it. How you feeling, David?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah?
It's Friday. Unfortunately, today, we will not have Forrest. The man is on vacation with his family, so we don't want to ruin him.
Well, when do
Ruin
we
him.
get a
Bother him.
vacation?
You had plenty of vacations, bro. Remember when you went to Lake Mead or wherever you went?
Yeah, and then I had to come back early. Leave. I had to
'Cause
leave. I
Luna
had to
happened.
get my mom to babysit my kids at the hotel just to come back, do one show, and I virtually joined the show virtually too.
Well, I mean, you did take a vacation when the whole Luna thing went down, so that was bad timing.
Oh man,
That was terrible
how
timing.
inconsiderate of me.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm saying it was just bad
It
timing.
sounds like you're saying it's my fault.
I'm not saying it's your fault, bro. I'm just saying the timing was terrible.
The timing was my fault.
It was kind of nice having the stage to myself.
Take a vacation
That was amazing.
next week.
Yeah, just a quick reminder that, yes, there is no Forest today. So it's a
Yeah.
vacation. So
Yeah.
All right. So let's just jump right into it, baby.
Jump.
Now, taking a look at Bitcoin, we are sitting at $21,699.06. And kind of moving. You know, we crossed, got as high as 22.2. And did you say yesterday that 22.5 is the number, or were you just saying 22?
21.5 was the number. But
I mean, I still go back to, you know, this last channel we were at, and we got up to 32 here. So, you know, if this is any indicator of what's to be expected here, basically trading the channel until the next interest rate and the next interest rate hike announcement comes out, which we will be discussing here in a moment. Yeah, I think we're right on par to do exactly what just happened here.
I don't know. I think this might be a little different this time.
I still think we are in store for, I mean, could be a longer leg. I mean, here you went from, what was this, April 10th to, so almost a month here, trading at around 40,000, and pretty much a month trading at 30,000. And hey, we're 3 weeks into trading at 20,000. And so, no,
There's a.
I just feel there's obviously a trend here, man. Look at these steps right here, bro.
You want to see a trend?
What's that?
Pull up my laptop, Rocco. So this is a beautiful, amazing. Look at this cup and handle that's forming on Bitcoin. This is the 4-hour chart on Bitcoin, by the way. Cup and handles typically break to the upside. And we saw resistance here at this $21,500 mark. Look, 1, 2, and now 3 times we got rejected. We haven't officially closed under it, but if we close under it and we continue to descend down in this blue channel, we will have formed a cup and handle, which typically cup and handles, again, they do break to the upside. And the way you measure your move is you go top of the cup, bottom of the cup, take this line.
Is there such a thing as a left-handed cup and handle? Left-handed people.
No.
Because I see
This is a
I
right-handed
see
cup and handle.
the circle on the left. I mean, I know that historically the cup and handle is the handle on the right, but
Yeah.
is there such a thing as a left-handed cup?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. But this move should, if it comes to fruition, okay, this move should see us at around $24,127 for Bitcoin. Which, if we move over to Crypto Stackers Pro, oddly, right here, the 3x short level off of the swing high here in on May 30th, when we had the swing high of 31.6. The 3x short level is 24,200. So right now we're at the 2x short level, and as you get higher up from this local high, the incentive to short gets a lot larger, and so you'll see a lot more positions in the short. And now that we have a short Bitcoin ETF, makes it a little easier for the average traditional investor to be able to go in there and short Bitcoin versus having to use a platform like Bybit or KuCoin to be able to short it. So remain to be seen. Again, we do have to see this play out. We do want to see price trade within this channel, so it'll be around 21,000, trending down to the low 20s. So we'll keep an eye on this, and this is the 4-hour chart. So in about 2-3 days, we should see this formation come to an end if it does play out. If not, we're either going to get rejected back down to right at 20,000, which we'll see, which will be very important. Because if we don't finish this this pattern and we break to the downside, if we hold above 20,000, it's very bullish. If we don't, obviously, the obvious. So, yeah. Anyways.
Well, taking a
Ooh, double David. Yeah, no, leave it. It's good.
no gracias. All right, so everything's kind of flat here. I mean, if you're looking at the 24-hour, we have a 1-hour chart. On the 24-hour, we are.
Is that on? That's new. That was never on there.
Coin market cap?
Yeah, CoinGecko always had the 1-hour chart. I guess they just added it.
And I don't care what happens with the 1 hour. Can I hide this thing?
You would if you're a swing trader.
Anyways, everything's kind of mostly flat. I forgot to pull up the crypto bubbles.
Volume's pretty good too, guys. We're sitting at about 83 billion in volume, up about 30 billion from yesterday.
So taking a look at the crypto bubbles, kind of a little bit all over the place. A little mixture of projects. When you're kind of in the middle, you're going to have, and also a consolidation. Any news, whether positive or negative, will have more of a dramatic impact on individual tokens when there is price stability in Bitcoin. And so we see Quant SHIB up with some news today, which we'll be covering. We're covering the SHIB news today or what?
We are.
All right. And then we got 1 inch also up 7%, Matic. And then the Crypto Fear and Greed Index is finally out of the teens.
Wow.
And so, people are feeling a little bit more secure. I think this is getting a little bit more predictable. I think that the fact that we're at 20,000 and, I think people even are okay with the fact that it might drop to 16, right? I think people, if you would have said that back when we were in 40,000, hey, we're going to go to 16, people are like,
right.
Now the sentiment is changed.
It doesn't feel as big of a drop.
Exactly. And so now the fear and greed index is taking into account the emotions of investors and traders. And so now that people have come to grips with 20,000 is kind of like where we're at now, obviously, and we might dip lower. I think people are okay with it. And I think that the possibility of more cascading liquidations as far as institutions and with these lenders, the whole DeFi space thing, I think that may have come to an end. We might have had the last shakeout. Now Kevin O'Leary seems to disagree.
So I watched the Kevin O'Leary video. The bottom is in. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the one that was on Pomp's show.
Yeah, and he thinks we need a major player like a Coinbase, a KuCoin, a Binance to go down for it to really just purge everything out of the crypto market, and then we start rebuilding. I don't know. Do you agree with him?
I don't know if it's an exchange. I don't know if it's an exchange. It could be another token. You could have the likes of, say, BlockFi or Aave or maybe Solana, or there could be a host of issues. It could be XRP's lawsuit coming to an end and them losing. You know what I mean? But I do think that I don't think that's likely, but I do think that there is. Probably, especially if we're going to be in a bear market, because you do agree that whether or not this was the bottom or not, we're in a bear market in cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah,
and we're going to probably be there for a while, right? So, anyways, in that time, something else negative, dramatic is going to happen, and it's going to push the price even more.
I mean, you don't think Celsius is big? 20 billion in assets. I mean,
they weren't even in the top 100.
Well, they're talking about their token.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the platform.
Yeah, I know, and they had a lot of exposure and leverage across the ecosystem. But I think that in the grand scheme of things, and what Kevin O'Leary was saying is that you need a major, another Terra Luna type of crash, where you had just one giant player. Could it be Tether finally collapsing? Or we've heard buzz about USDC. Yeah. That I highly doubt. I think both stablecoins I highly doubt, but never know. You could also have the Tron thing blow up or something, or as I mentioned, XRP. Well, so I do think we're probably due for one more giant catalyst that, looking back, we could say, well, it started with Terra Luna and it ended with the death of something.
Fill in the blank.
Yeah. And so I think that will probably signal the bottom. Now we could just trade sideways for a year and a half and slowly come out of this thing. Very, very possible. But if you look at not just crypto history, but if you look at bear markets and cycles in generally these things happen. And when you have exposure to significant losses and a drop in volume, and you get players that are getting shaken out and leverage, somebody out here in the crypto space is pooping themselves right now.
Well,
They're
here's-
like, you know what? They need some money. They can't get it. They're freaking out, and just a matter of time before they go under. So,
Well, here's what I want to share that's pretty bullish. So if you want to pull up my laptop, Rocco. So you heard the term one coin or a whole coiner, right? Anyone that the goal is to get to at least one Bitcoin. And so if you take our cameras away, Rocco. So this is the number of Bitcoin addresses that hold more than one coin. And since the beginning of July up until today, this has been the fastest rate of growth ever. Over 6,300 new wallets now have over one whole Bitcoin. So
I think a lot of people got scared, man, with this whole DeFi thing, and maybe perhaps they just are. You know, we've been yelling at the top of our lungs, and I think a lot of other media personalities have been saying the same thing. Like, hey, time is now to take your crypto off an exchange. And so I think that, you know, this chart obviously excludes whole coiners that are on exchanges because they keep all of those in one large wallet, right? It's not yours until you pull it off. And so
the number of unique, so when you're on a centralized exchange, I don't know. That's actually a good question. Does it count exchanges?
Exchanges, we read the terms of services all the time.
It's not your coins. I get
It's
it.
like the terms of services always. You can look at any
Right,
exchange.
but does this metric take that into account? That's what I want to
No, but what I'm saying is that you look at the terms of services on exchanges, and they literally say on there, like, we will custody together with other people. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's like the best example would be Robinhood. Remember when they had the Dogecoin thing popping off?
Yeah.
They were the largest Dogecoin wallet out there. And I understand they don't have order books, so it's a little different than a traditional exchange. But yeah,
Satoshi coming out of hiding. I've heard that a couple of times over the last few days.
you know, as
think he's dead.
the silence keeps coming, as the silence keeps pushing forward, it's less and less likely. And it used to be a big narrative before. Hey, when is Satoshi going to come back? Activate his wallet, and then, you know, if Satoshi came back, that whole decentralized, nobody controls a thing. That whole,
it would be bad for
Michael
big-
Saylor thing that he's just like, nobody controls it. And like, hey, lo and behold,
Yeah.
dude rise up, be like, hey, the boy's here. The second coming of Satoshi. And then, you know, he unlocks that wallet. How many Bitcoins that wallet?
I think
have?
over 1 million.
Yeah,
I think. I could be wrong.
it is. I'm pretty sure it's the largest wallet.
Here's the thing, though. Let's say he does come out of hiding or whatever. If you don't think if he just is, I created Bitcoin and he cashes in on some of the coins and he has nothing to do with the protocol, nothing to do with proposing improvements.
I don't think. I think it would.
I mean, I definitely think it's better
it would
that he
cause
stays in the
shock.
shadows.
It would cause shock.
I think he's
and
dead.
I think so too.
I think it was Hal Finney, bro.
Perhaps. I mean, that's the
First
popular.
transaction. Yeah.
That's popular consensus. All right. So taking a look at traditional markets, pretty flat and even here. So NASDAQ, S&P 500, all right at zero pretty much. Now, we did open up the day at almost at 2% up, and then we flipped and went, you know, we're down almost 1%. So what's going on in the market is that this whole jobs thing, the jobs report. So we covered it yesterday. And so a couple things. Yesterday we covered unemployment being up. So there's two different things going on here with the job market. One, you got unemployment claims are way up. And you know, the highest has been since early 2021. And then at the same time, you have the job market pumping. People's salaries are up. And so if you really think about it, what's going on? You have less people that are out of work not collecting any money. Does that make sense?
Say it one more time.
So the people that lost their jobs are collecting unemployment.
Right.
And then there's people that are working. There's not very many people that lost their jobs and aren't collecting unemployment. You get what I'm saying? That gap is small.
Okay.
And that's just my own personal consensus because, I mean, what else could it be? if the job market is up and there's more jobs filled, people are making more money, then you would assume unemployment would be down. But no, unemployment's up. And so if you have a piece of a pie and you have workers.
Let me ask you this question, and this might be a stupid question, but payrolls growing by 372,000.
It's not just payrolls, it's also just positions. Positions are up too. So payroll and positions are both up. And the jobless claims are also up. So I feel like the gap in between the two, that's what I was saying. It kind of doesn't make sense.
Right.
So there's more people collecting unemployment and there's more jobs filled. So the pool of workers that are both out of a job and aren't collecting unemployment is narrow.
Right.
And I think a lot of people, because the job market is so strong, if you think of it this way, job market is so strong that when unemployment runs out, you're like, all right, let me go get a job. And it's pretty easy to do it. You know what I mean? Like people are hiring. So you're like, okay, unemployment ran out. Like, all right, well, cool. Let me go pick a job. So that's where we're at. But taking a look at this chart again. So we got healthcare and social assistance. So your hospitals, retirement homes, things of that nature, are up tremendously. So up 77,000 jobs. Also the business and professional service, leisure and hospitality. So what Vegas does best here is also booming. Transportation up. Government workers are down 9%. I don't really know what to make of that.
9% or 9,000?
No, 9,000. Sorry. So down 9,000. You know what? Let's fill some jobs, man. Let's create some crypto positions, right? Cryptos are.
Okay, let's go, guys.
Yeah.
Filling bags of Bitcoin. We need. What kind of job?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
And then, so there's a couple things on the horizon, though. So the Fed officials, Christopher Waller. So Christopher Waller and James Bullard, which Christopher Waller is the governor of the Fed. So he's like the one that puts together the meetings, basically. And James Bullard is a very hawkish president of St. Louis, I think it is.
St. Louis Fed.
Yeah. So they're both saying that another big rate increase is coming in July. And I think this is probably baked into the market, right? At this point?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Well, this is what they said here. I'm gonna read and then we're gonna react here. So, Fed Governor Christopher Waller. This is his quote here. I'm definitely in support of doing another 75 basis point hike in July, probably 50 in September, and then after that, we can debate whether to go down to the 25s. So now they're not even saying halting. They're talking about, maybe then we'll go back to 25 basis point rate hikes. If inflation doesn't seem to come down, we'll do more. Markets widely expect such a move in July and continue to increase the Fed funds until the rate hits around 3.25 to 3.5 by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Now, another guy, as I mentioned, St. Louis Fed President James Bullard. Now, this guy, he's a little bit more hawkish. He's not at all in the camp of, pausing or slowing down. He's all like, hey, man, we're going to crank this thing up till the government breaks. Now, he is on record saying, I think it would make a lot of sense to go with 75 basis points at this junction. I've advocated and continue to advocate to getting to 3.5% this year. Then we'll see where we are with inflation. He says that we're going to get inflation down. That means we are going to be aggressive on our rate hikes, and we may have to take the risk of causing economic damage. But I don't think, given how strong the labor market is right now, that should be that bad. Now, so you might wonder, why did we skip over August? Well, there's no meeting in August. This is the meetings here. The U.S. Federal Reserve meetings, July, September. So
Oh yeah, they're on
we have
vacation, right? In August.
So we have 4 meetings left. And so where are we at right now? We're at like 2%?
75, 50, 50, 25.
You're like
So
2.25, right?
Something like that, yeah. Well, a
Meaning-
75 in July would put us at 3, I think.
Yeah.
And
Should.
then they want to do September.
Then probably another 50. That put us at 3.5. And then they're still talking about doing another 0.25 in November.
Right. Okay,
Now,
but
November also happens to be midterm elections. And so, basically crash the economy by September. And then
Try
put
to
everything
get it
on
pumping.
pause.
Yeah.
Put everything on pause. Let the economy rally in November. And then after the elections, if they need to, do one more rate hike in December. Sounds about right, right?
I can see that happening, yeah.
I think that's probably what we're in line for.
I can see that happening. Here's what I'm afraid of, right? They're looking at these job numbers that you put up. Oh, the labor market's really strong. Yet we see layoffs from Netflix, GameStop, Amazon, Facebook. And so they're going off of, hey, employment's strong, so they can handle it.
Well, how
Very
far of a
dangerous.
lagging number are these as this labor market? Do you think it's up to date? Because I think a lot of these layoffs that are coming up, I don't think they really
We won't
are-
see them until probably Q3, Q4 numbers.
Exactly, man. And so I'm kind of scared, man. You know what? If the price of a house right now, your average 30-year mortgage rate is coming in at over 5%.
6.
What
6%,
is
bro.
it average?
It's
Over 6 now.
Over 6. I literally met with my mortgage lender
Okay,
a week and a half ago.
even more
6.25.
even more the point. So 6.25%. So just off of sheer mathematics, which by the way, we went up 2%, and we went from an average of 3%
To
home
5.
mortgage to 6.
Right.
So mathematically, it wasn't a 1-for-1 correlation. But let's just say, for an example, it was a 1-to-1 correlation. Let's say that we were at 6.25 and we raise the interest rate, the federal interest rate, by 0.75. That'll put the 30-year mortgage rate at 7%. That's crazy. And you know what? It'll probably be more than that. The banks will probably do 7.5.
Listen, I talked to a few people that recently bought a house in Vegas, and I was like, "You don't want to wait?" They're like, "Look, 6% is still low, and these are people in their mid 40s and 50s." So, back in the late 80s and 90s, interest rates were high as 14, 15%. So, those people, whether they saw at a young age their parents go through it, or if they had some exposure at that, or they knew about it. Now they see 6%. To them, it's low, but for us, it's high because
you got to think. So these mortgage rates are not just strictly copy and paste as we see from the federal government. It's also a measure of risk for the lender. And so I think a lot of mortgage companies, a lot of major banks are identifying that the housing market is overheated. People probably bought houses they can't afford. And we're in a recession, likely going deeper. And even if they don't believe that, they probably are accounting for the fact that it's possible we go into a recession. And so if it's possible we go into a recession and there's a significant amount of layoffs and people pay too much for their houses, what is going to happen to the housing market? It's going to at least go down. You can sit here and make an argument if it's in a bubble or not, whatever.
I don't think it's in
you
a
can
bubble.
determine whatever the hell you want, but it's going to go down. Whether or not it goes down in the form of a bubble popping and it just crashes, or if it just dwindles down slowly, it's going to go down. And as the median price of homes go down, people that own a house where they bought the top and then lose their jobs are going to default and basically get foreclosed on their homes. And so as this happens, this causes more and more issues for the banks, the lenders. They take more losses on their balance sheet, and so in turn, as these rates go up and prices become even higher, it becomes more risky, especially in the environment that we're at now. So it wouldn't surprise me by the end of the year if even if the federal government's interest rates at 3.5, I could see
8, 9%.
8, 9, 10%
Yeah.
on a home mortgage because of just the sheer risk of the lenders have right now with a potential crash in the housing market. Now, whether or not you believe it's going to happen, you got to at least as a business expect it. In the same way that we talk about, like, hey, if you're a crypto platform, you need to be ready for a big crash in the market. Like,
Right.
you can't just like have yourself positioned out that if Bitcoin went down to 5,000, you would go out of business and you would be liquidated.
You don't think?
Yeah.
You,
So the banks are doing the same thing.
you don't.
So,
You don't think it's going to be like 2008, right? As
I
far as the
don't
housing
think so,
market.
but you need to plan for it. I mean, you need to prepare for it because here's the thing: there's gonna be no major bailouts again.
I don't know. I don't.
You can argue that, but in my opinion, with all the money printing, the inflation, bro, if the housing market goes down, they're not gonna pass $2 trillion worth of stimulus to bail out the banks again within a span of 15 years. They're not gonna do it. You had your chance. We bailed you out. You didn't learn. And now you're giving out mortgages to people that don't need it. Then you know what? That's your own fault. And that's my opinion. And maybe I'm wrong. And maybe the government prints more money. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly. But I think that banks have to tread carefully right now. And so in doing so, you're going to have some high-ass housing prices.
You know what I think is the fastest and most streamlined way to get this country out of the shithole we're in is war.
Get out of here.
I'm being
No.
serious.
All you
Right,
got to
sure.
do,
It's war.
all you got to do is all
I
the
agree.
bonds.
You agree, right? It's
I agree
war.
with you, yes.
You have to.
It's a way to reset everything. It's
a
always
way to
been
reset.
in history. It's always
What
been.
are they going to do, bro? Raise interest rates, economy shrinks, layoffs happen. Now you can't do quantitative easing because inflation is so high. So you either say fuck it and let inflation run and turn QE back on.
But if you're gonna use that analogy, you look at in wartime. Basically, production and manufacturing goes up, and that comes in a time when jobs are at its lowest. So if you look at the Great Depression going into World War I, for an example,
World War II.
No,
Yeah, World War II was after the Great Depression.
Was it? So then what ended up happening was there was a huge labor market that was out of work. And so then these jobs got created. So if we went to war, the problem is not the workforce right now. And so going into wartime, you're basically forcing people into manufacturing positions. And so you're giving jobs to people that essentially couldn't have jobs. That's not where we're at right now. And, my solution the problem here was the money printing. And the fact that we increased our money supply by 40% in the span of 2 years, I think is leaps and bounds at face value the biggest problem. And if you want to solve it, how about through when you get paid back bonds, instead of putting it back into circulation, you just don't put it back into circulation. But essentially, when somebody pays you back, you're like, thank you for the payback, and you don't put it back in the supply. And basically, you diminish the supply. So you do the opposite. So if the cause of our problem was money printing, then the solution to the problem logically would be to cut the supply back on the money. In the same way that...
But that would have such a bad global...
That's literally what the plan was. Quantitative tightening is exactly that.
I get it, but
quantitative tightening. So quantitative easing,
you're going to bankrupt a lot of countries.
But
man.
that's literally the blueprint that they have. Now, whether or not they're going to do it, I don't think so. So quantitative easing is the printing of money and handing it straight to corporations through the purchase of bonds. And conversely, quantitative tightening is when the bonds get paid back and you don't put the money back in circulation. And so if they just did that, and that would be the problem. I think if I had to choose, okay, quantitative tightening or go to war. Honestly. And then going to war, all it does is create manufacturing jobs. And the job market's not that bad right now.
I don't think it's about jobs. And I'm not going to get too deep into this because we're not a whatever. But I think I think the fastest way to resolve supply chain, to resolve inflation, is to get Russia back where it belongs.
I adamantly disagree. I think war is going to cause nations to take sides. I mean, you're talking about India,
They're already
China.
taking sides.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about taking the sides to a point to where there is no trade. At least right now, we can trade with China, we can trade with India, we can trade with the Philippines, we
Just
can
as
trade. But
important-
now, if you go to war and you're like, yo, you are an ally with Russia. You're an ally. You're not going to be trading. You're talking about a global event. Like you're talking about cutting off the global supply. War in the past was a way different game. Before World War II, there was not this free trade agreement between countries. It was all about your domestic product. And now we are so reliant. And if anything, history lately in the last 2 years, we've learned that if you sneeze too hard in China, all of a sudden the whole thing breaks. And so if you start unplugging countries because of war from trading. Bro,
They've already started doing that.
who
With-
have
with
we stopped?
oil.
We've only stopped with Russia.
I'm not.
But what I'm
okay,
saying is
but
like,
I'm saying Europe has too. Europe's done the same thing.
but with one country. And now what I'm saying is that if you go to war, major global war, if America goes to war with another country, that means NATO goes to war too. And if NATO goes to war with another country, that means whoever they're fighting, they're going to have allies. And all those people are blacklisted from trading. And so you think it's bad now with the supply chain? Wait till you don't get anything from China.
Well, listen, just as much as we're relying on China, they're also relying on our money as well.
Yeah, and then the whole world will be broken.
Yeah,
For
it's-
10,
in my
10,
opinion,
10,
it's-
20. You think basically crashing the global economic
That's what's going to
structure.
happen anyways.
It's not. Right
What
now.
do you mean it's not?
Right now, supply chain slowed. We're not broken. If you want to order a phone from China, you can still get it.
If the interest rate goes up to 10%,
you know what? You know the
it's gonna
largest
break economies.
importer of oil in Europe right now is Europe from Russia. So even though like you can sit here and say, well, they banned, like no, they're still buying oil. And you know what? If they cut off the natural gas, Germany would literally be out of power. And so they're still getting it. You know what they did? They froze all the bank accounts. They stopped the trade of gold with Russia, and they took they seized money, basically stole money from all the oligarchs. That's essentially all that's happened. And the ruble's strong, and they're still trading oil. Any oil that was going to the U.S. is now going to China and India. And so on a global scale, not too much has changed, honestly.
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on this topic, but I got more to say, but I'm not going to. We don't need war. Yeah, we never need war. But hey, sometimes people look at it like, well, we're pigeonholed here. What do we do? Anyways, are you going to talk about inflation? Is that on your docket?
Well, I do have the GDP numbers here. So,
Okay, cool. Perfect.
So I got the Atlanta Fed blue checked Twitter account. On July 8th, GDP model
Blue
now
checked
forecast the real GDP growth for Q2 in 2022 is down 1.2%. So this is basically the strongest indicator of economic
Growth.
Or basically where you at. You know, this is basically your profit and loss statement for the country. We're not talking about your budget sheet or whatever. Just like, yo, how's your country rank on the global stage? And so we're down 1.2%. So
Those are the projections.
yeah.
Now they revised the final Q1 numbers like a week ago, and Q1 ended in March, so we won't get the final GDP2 numbers until about October. October.
And then also to get back onto the supply chain, the West Coast dock workers still talking after contract expires. So what's going on here? Basically, the ports for California and Washington State, which handle about 40% of all imports, they have a union there, and the union represents not only just like the crane workers, but also your drivers and longshoremen, and lots of positions there. But anyways, the union has contract that expired. If you're not familiar with how union contracts work, hey, I want this amount of money. The other side's like, we'll give you this amount of money, and then you just keep bargaining until something gets done, or you just don't bargain, and then eventually you go on strike. So this is affecting 22,000 workers. So this is an absolute doomsday scenario. Both sides continue to talk. They say they want to avoid a strike, and basically,
Bro, if they're going strike,
Now, even Joe Biden here. So the talks are so crucial that President Joe Biden has even stepped in last month and met with both sides in Los Angeles. So do I think they'll go on strike? I don't think it'll get to that point. But you know what concerns me is the fact that, okay, what happens when you're talking to your boss about a raise and he doesn't say yes? He's like, we'll think about it. You get pissed, right?
You leave.
You're not even saying you leave, but you're mad. You're like,
Right.
what the fuck? Anyways, I would imagine productivity's got to be down, right? I mean, as the workers, you're like, yo, can we get this deal done? Like, man, inflation is killing me. I can't buy a house, and I would like a raise. And obviously, my position is extremely important,
Right.
you know? And so
They got the leverage.
yeah. And so the fact that you're not paying these people or not sitting down and coming to an agreement is absurd. And so I can only imagine that the workers are probably teed off, pissed off, and they are probably not as productive as they would be if you paid them adequately. And so I think if they got this done, we could see a little ease in the supply chain. Anyways, that's all I got.
Who knows? I want to, so you talk about inflation. I want to show one thing before we move on. So we talk about CPI and how flawed it is, and the Fed likes to use that PCE. And, well, I think what they should use is the PPI. So pull up my laptop. So this is the Producer Price Index, okay? So in my opinion, and I think Robin will agree with this, this is the real gauge on this is the gauge on the real inflation in this country, 10.8%. This is how much it costs to produce product for the manufacturers. Do you agree? Is this probably not the realer inflation rate?
Because it doesn't matter what the consumer is paying for. It doesn't matter what the supply chain, like how much it costs to get it out of the warehouse.
How much does it cost to produce it?
Yeah. If you're building a house, how much does the lumber cost? How much does the concrete cost? Because at the end of the day, what you decide to mark it up is irrelevant, because the cost of the goods to be produced is essentially the best marker for inflation.
10.8% year over year since May. I think that's a real inflation number, guys. Anyways, we are done. Let us move on to our very next segment of our show, our hot take.
That's hot.
So just to set this up here, we're going to pull up my laptop. So Mt. Gox, if you're not familiar, the largest Bitcoin exchange back in the early 2010s, I believe they were one of the first. At one point, they had over 850,000 Bitcoin they were custodying. Well, they went under. And now, the trustee that's overseeing the lawsuit, right, prepares to unlock 150,000 Bitcoin, not dollars, coins, which equates to roughly a little over $3 billion. Attorney Nobuaki Kobayashi, to the appointed trustee in the rehab process, confirmed that he was preparing to make repayments to account holders. Now, account holders can get repaid in three ways: Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and dollars. Okay. And let's say, for example, because back when Mt. Gox was around, Bitcoin was around $20. So let's say you had $2,000 worth of Bitcoin and you had 100 Bitcoin. Well, when they pay you back, they're not paying you back your 100 Bitcoin. They're paying you $2,000 worth of Bitcoin, which would be 1/10 of a Bitcoin. But still, 150,000 Bitcoin is getting ready to be returned to people. And if I pull up Glassnode here, this is Mt. Gox's balance, 137,000. This is what it shows on Glassnode. But so the question is this: Will the Mt. Gox Bitcoin release, will that, you can take my laptop away, Rocco, will that ruin our current relief rally that we're in? Will that take us a big leg down? Robin, share your thoughts.
Hell no.
No?
You know what? If they just, okay, let's just say they got all of their Bitcoin back. Like, it was originally 800,000 Bitcoin was lost.
All right.
And so let's say they recovered all 800,000 Bitcoin and then returned all the Bitcoin to its users in one fell swoop. Then obviously that would create the doomsday scenario where all of a sudden you have thousands of new millionaires out there. And obviously, if your average Joe Schmo is now a millionaire, he's probably going to if he's working his 9 to 5, is going to cash that in and retire or freaking go buy some stuff. And so with the situation at hand, first of all, this process is still far from over. And so the process of getting your cash, you have to access an account that was active in 2012. And so good luck finding your password and your login name and your email. Do you still have an active email? Are you using the same email from 2012?
No.
Exactly. And so, if that's the case, you basically, you have an exchange that went out of business 10 years ago, and all the information that they have for you is on what they had at that time. And so you have people that passed away. It's a lot of different factors. So don't think it's going to be that big of a factor. But now that Bitcoin's going to go somewhere. You know what I mean? So I'm assuming that, whoever claims whatever, say.
What do you think the majority of people are going to take Bitcoin, right?
I'd assume so. But here's what I'm saying is that for the people that don't claim it, for the people that, they're only getting pennies on the dollar for what it's, physically worth in comparison. If I had 5 Bitcoin, you're not going to give me 5 Bitcoin from the looks of it. And so where is all this extra Bitcoin going to go? Somebody's gonna take it.
U.S. government?
No, it was a Japanese. It's an Asian exchange. So the U.S. isn't gonna do nothing. So
I kind of agree with you. I think right now with the way the economy is, and it's like this money you've had on here, and yeah, it's a fraction of what it was, right? Or what it would be worth if you had that same equivalent amount of Bitcoin that you were holding before Mt. Gox went down. But I think when people unlock it, whether it's $1,000, $2,000, I can definitely see people dumping it. Plus, if you were part of the Mt. Gox hack, chances are you're not around in crypto. That probably left such a bad taste in your mouth. You went away from the crypto market completely. We see people that were here a year and a half, 2 years ago, would go through the 60% downturn in the bear market and people just quit crypto. Imagine in the early stages of crypto and Bitcoin, you have money on an exchange, it gets completely wiped out, and now you get a little bit of money back, $500, $1,000, $2,000. You're dumping it. I'm not saying everyone's going to dump it, but you're probably dumping it. On top of that, when those Bitcoins do finally flow into these people's wallets, you're going to get speculation. You're going to get people say, oh, crap, here it comes. Here's the dip. I'm going to sell mine. Wait till it drops lower, which could have the opposite effect. I've learned that in trading in the traditional markets, more so than the crypto markets, is when you expect something. I was trading earnings all the time. And in the first 2 months of me trading earnings, you would think, oh, they're going to beat their earnings. I'm going to put in a call option. Goes down. Oh, they're going to miss their earnings. You read this article, you read that article. Oh, it's going to go down. You put a short position in. It goes up. So I think that it possibly could happen, but who knows? So I think there's a chance. I don't think it's going to take us down from $20,000 to $12,000. But, you got that. If you have miners continuing to capitulate, you just never know. But I think to completely dismiss it is wrong.
I just don't see. Here's the thing: they're not going to issue all the coins out at one time. So it'll be like, 500 people will finish their application, whatever. They'll get reviewed. They'll pay those people. Then maybe another 1,000 will get, the following month. And so I think that even when people do get paid back, it's gonna be delayed out to a certain extent. And so, yeah. What I think.
Interesting. Rocco, what do you think? Crash the market or no effect?
No, I would say no effect.
No effect? Yeah, a lot of people are saying no effect.
I don't think it's going to do it.
I don't think it's going to have a huge effect. I think it'll have a little bit. Whether it's through people panicking, being frantic, and expecting something and selling their Bitcoin, or whether it actually people do sell all their Bitcoin. I think to just completely dismiss it, I think is wrong. But that's just.
I wonder if people realize they get these funds. I don't know. How are they going to notify them? You get this money.
Well, they've been contacting them through email.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying, but it's the original email addresses. So
Right.
if you have a new email or, you know.
I don't know. A lot
I'm
of money is
assuming
gonna
if you
get
had a
lost.
substantial amount of money and it was a pending lawsuit, you would keep your info up to
Yeah.
date, right?
I think majority of the people will that took big L's.
Right.
I think like your major investors, or even if there was corporate leverage at all, I think those will be the people that are most eager, put it that way. But I think a lot of these like retail investors that at the time when Bitcoin was under $100 and
$20.
well, I think when they went under, I think it was right at $100, and then it crashed down to 20 after the exchange went down. It crashed down to 20.
So it would benefit for these Mount Gox people
So,
for Bitcoin's price to go down.
I'm just saying, I think there might have been people that hey, I had a couple $100 in there, and they didn't really think much of it. They didn't think much of the loss. They just they never really even
Right.
like right now, if you lost $200 in Voyager, and 10 years from now, would you be like?
No.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
And at the time, if you had 20 grand in there and you
another
lost it,
story.
that's
Right.
a different story. You know what I mean? So, but I think a lot of the people that lost money are people that maybe not so exposed, and maybe they don't go through the whole process of getting
Right.
their money back. So,
Time will tell. All right, let's move on. Talking points. All right. So our friend Robin came at you live from the gym yesterday where he wasn't doing shoulder shrugs. Probably wasn't doing any calf raises or squats or anything like
You
that.
look
either.
down on the calf, really?
You probably, what's that?
You were looking at the calf.
No.
Yeah,
no.
you looked down. I saw it.
Oh, his calves. Yeah. I want to make sure.
You were looking down.
He probably just does arms and then chest and then arms and chest. And anyways, he talked about this bombshell allegation, this lawsuit that was filed in the state of New York, and we're going to talk about it. Bombshell allegations of fraud as KeyFi takes Celsius to court. And this is one thing that I had said. We talked about Voyager declaring bankruptcy. Okay, I said this protects them from lawsuits and people making a run on their money. And so Celsius decided not to do the bankruptcy thing, and here we are. Staking software and investment firm KeyFi has filed a complaint against Celsius, alleging the company had been operating in a Ponzi-style fashion and that it failed to honor a profit-sharing agreement worth millions of dollars. KeyFi served as an investment manager to Celsius between August 2020 and March 2021. So essentially, Celsius took money from customers, handed it over to KeyFi. KeyFi, in turn, invested that money in stuff like DeFi, staking, yield farming, and then they would share some of the profit. Well, the problem is in the beginning, it was a handshake deal. Nothing was on paper. And then finally, when everything was on paper, Celsius essentially turned their back on them. Now they want a trial by jury. Trial by jury, that's what they want. The account has also stated that Celsius's risk management team, who monitored the activity of the wallet that KeyFi and Celsius had access to, assured KeyFi that, quote, their trading teams are adequately hedging any potential impermanent loss and fluctuations in token pricing relating to KeyFi investment activity. So the idea was Celsius deposits Ethereum into this wallet, which KeyFi and Celsius have access to. KeyFi would take that money, put it in DeFi or whatever the case may be. But on the back end, what Celsius was supposed to do is open opposite positions to bring their risk down. So that way, if it does go against them, they're not asked out. And come to find out, while KeyFi thought Celsius was not leveraging, but doing what they were supposed to do, what they agreed to do, they weren't doing it at all. Okay. And so here is the actual complaint. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is pretty interesting. And this is why when I made that Celsius, or when we did that Celsius video that we posted, the 5-minute one yesterday, look at what they done. Look at their actions, and you tell me if you think they're going to do the right thing. First, Stone, who is the CEO and founder of KeyFi, became aware that since at least February of 2020, Celsius had engaged in a series of transactions designed to artificially inflate the price of the Cell token, Connor Nolan, which is the head of coin deployment at Celsius, informed Stone that Celsius had used approximately 4,500 Bitcoin of consumer money, consumer Bitcoin, that has a current value of $90 million to purchase Cell token on the open market between February of 2020 and November of the same year to artificially inflate the price. The purpose of the scheme was both fraudulent and illegal. Celsius induced customers to be paid in Cell tokens by providing them with higher interest rate. Then by purposefully and artificially inflating the price of Cell, Celsius was able to pay customers who had elected to receive the interest payment in the form of the Cell token even less of the crypto asset. In addition, by artificially increasing the price of the Cell token, Mashinsky, who personally owned hundreds of millions of dollars of the token, was able to enrich himself considerably. It also made it appear that there was substantial demand. It fudged up the volume numbers. So you want to throw your input on this?
Not surprised, man.
It's like,
Here's the thing. Like, if you have a friend that borrows money and gambles your money, but says he's borrowing it to pay bills.
but dude, that just
That's actually a common thing here in Vegas, by the way.
Mhm.
So somebody borrows money to pay bills, but they go and gamble. They're probably doing way more shady stuff than just that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a stamp of character. And the same way a person can have a stamp of character, a company can have morals and tendencies. And so if you're taking people's money and you're investing it in more risky assets, doesn't surprise me in the slightest if you're going to be irresponsible with other people's cash, that you're irresponsible when it comes to your partnerships. Whether or not legal or not, like that's a whole nother subject. But
Right.
whether or not it's legal or not, you got a partnership with somebody else and you're screwing them over. And on top of that, you're manipulating the price of your own token, the volume, the buy orders, your everything. Nothing is real. What is the only thing that's real is the customer's money that is leaving their wallets and going to a place of where he says better than the banks, and then it goes elsewhere. It goes to pay for the purchase of their own token to inflate the price, and then it goes to other places. And then is it Ponzi scheme like? Sure. Because here's the thing. If the founder is lining his pockets with his own token overinflated, that become overinflated by the purchase of its own tokens on exchanges, and the purchase of those tokens came from the users. When the users need to exit, you need to pay them back. And what are you going to pay them back with? Obviously, your inflated token that they already inflated with their own money. But there's a gap there. There's a huge gap there. And when you get exposed and you had some Terra Luna tokens, and that was the first domino, and then the price of Bitcoin starts to tumble, and now people are starting to exit, and then there's whispers of issues, the whole house of cards come crashing down. Because just like any other Ponzi scheme, people want money. There's not enough to give out.
You know, Robin, you mentioned as Bitcoin started to plummet, okay? Go pull up my laptop again. And I want to read just this one last segment of this. And by the way, if you guys want to read this whole thing, it's only 32 pages. Took me about 25 minutes to read. Very interesting.
Only 32 pages.
It
Wasn't that long. Like I'm saying, it wasn't that long. Typically, I'm thinking 200-300 pages.
will take 3 days for me.
Now, Celsius, this is how stupid they were. This is how I don't even know. Like, I'm not an accountant, but I'm just like, when I read this, I was like, what? How the hell are you have 20 billion in assets under management and this is what you do? You pull up my laptop, bro. What? Third, Stone learned of further financial mismanagement that threatened to plunge Celsius into insolvency. As mentioned above, Celsius paid a portion of interest on deposits in Cell tokens and a portion of interest in other crypto assets such as Bitcoin and Ether. With respect to consumers who chose to be paid in the crypto assets they deposited rather than the Cell tokens, Celsius logged those liabilities on its books in a US dollar denominated basis for 2 years, despite the fact that it paid its customers out in the underlying token. It then failed to market those assets in its internal ledger as those crypto assets appreciated, creating a substantial hole of around $200 million in its accounting. Throughout 2020 and 2021, assets such as Bitcoin and Ether substantially appreciated compared to the dollar. Yet Celsius failed to update the ledger to reflect the increased dollar value of its liabilities. The accounting error masked hundreds of millions of dollars in liabilities that Celsius was not prepared to pay out. Bro, like what? What? Like, are you as shocked as I am? Like I said, man, I'm not an accountant, but I just feel like it's common sense.
Okay, when
Robin gives me one Bitcoin that's worth 20,000 now, and I just log in 20,000, but I'm gonna get my Bitcoin, or I'm gonna give him his Bitcoin back, and I give him 20,000 instead when Bitcoin goes up to 40.
shady ass.
Man, where's this 20,000 come from?
Shady ass, poorly run companies, top to bottom. It's like when they go to catch a murderer or whatever. They say that like there's like 15 things you didn't realize that a detective can find. You know what I mean? Like, GPS tracking, footprints and this, that. And so when you have a shady ass company, man, there's 15, 20 things they probably messed up on. I bet you like when there's the Terra Luna fiasco finally settles and they do a documentary on that.
Oh my God, bro.
I'm sure the details out of that thing are going to be so astronomical.
I feel like these things are so intertwined. Celsius, Three Arrows, Voyager, BlockFi. They should just do a whole movie on it.
They did the Netflix one on Quadriga, which was pretty good.
The Canadian exchange.
That was the Canadian exchange.
Crypto Blood was on there.
Yeah.
One of our
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it'll make a documentary. It just depends on how good is it. Who makes it, because Netflix. Remember what was the Fire Fest or whatever it was. You know that one. It's like, so they had the Fire Fest. I think it's called Fire Fest, something like that. Anyways, it was like this big concert they did on an island.
Oh yes, FYRE.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Dude.
Anyways, so with that one,
So
with that one, Netflix did a documentary,
Dude.
Amazon did a documentary, and then like somebody else did one too. So there was like 3 documentaries on the same one. So anyways, I could see.
Oh, 100%.
I could see
100%.
somebody's going to do a documentary on this cycle.
Do it.
And
somebody do it.
I'm sure of that. But
yeah, guys, this is why yesterday I said main reason I don't think people are getting their money back is because of what they've done.
And 3
man.
Arrows Capital too, man. I'm sure they probably had a host of mess ups outside of the Terra Luna explosion.
Now, Robin, we've all made mistakes in our lives, right? I've done something where I'm like, I look back now, I'm like, that was really bad of me to do. Bad judgment. But what if every time you've made a bad decision or made a bad judgment call, do you not take responsibility and say, look, I messed up. If you really,
but it's in human nature.
Here's the thing,
that people don't take accountability.
Let me reword it. If you are remorseful and you want to change, do you not agree that one of the first things you're going to do is to say, hey, look, I'm sorry, Robin, I called you a lizard. It wasn't the right thing to do, but I'm going to change. But okay, minus the funny stuff. Do you agree? Like, if you truly want to change,
Let me ask you a question. Do I apologize to you?
never. Okay, but no, in all honesty, right?
That's right.
I used to have a gambling problem, and I went to my wife and I was like, look, I messed up. I've been gambling this much money. I messed up. I'm sorry. I'm going to do better. Because I really wanted to change. If Mashinsky really wanted to change, he will come out and say, look, the decisions we made up to this point, and you can even deflect and say, this person, but ultimately it lands on me. I let it slip through my fingers. I didn't pay enough attention, but I'm going to fix it. Nothing. Zero. That's why even when they're selling, and here's the other article, and I'll just roll into it.
There's just bad people out there, bro. And there's people that are unremorseful, And you look, you look at these active shooters, you look at these giant con men, you look at the Tinder swindler. There's just example after example. I mean, throughout history where you can sit here and be like, why don't you feel bad? Like, you know what? I'm sorry to say it, David. It's human nature, bro. For every amazing person out there, there's a grimy ass, nasty, shady person somewhere on this planet. And it's the world we live in, man. And that's why you gotta really be careful with who you trust. And the problem with Mashinsky is that he was a very warm and likable person, very outspoken, very humble, and he gained people's trust because of his personality that he portrayed. But on the inside, you peel back the layers, and it's a rotten core, man. And that's human nature, man. And the best con men and the most evil people are your neighbor that you think is a good person.
Right.
And so if there's anything you learn from this, is that, like, be careful who you trust. Because even at face value, they might have intentions, and they might have order books, and they might have procedures that go way outside what you would think ethical. Real quick, Steven. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Stefan.
Whatever.
Stefan.
And so the thing is though, going through all of this, whether or not the individuals learn or feel remorseful or feel bad or whatever the hell you want to call it, come out and publicly apologize, accountability, whatever the problem is, people will learn. It might not be the individuals behind it, but you know what?
As
the
an
next
investor.
cycle, the next companies, the next VC firms, the next exchanges might, when they get offered, when they get approached with, hey, can we borrow $600 million? Perhaps next time,
Right.
then next exchange will be like, okay, well, give me some collateral.
Right.
And maybe
There's always lessons to be learned.
and maybe the next venture capital fund will be like, maybe we shouldn't put 80% of our worth into an algorithmic stable coin that is untested, or another example, or maybe just any asset. Maybe I should diversify and mitigate my risk. Maybe maybe companies, later on will plan for 80% price dips or 95% price dips because of what history will tell you. And the problem with crypto is that we're such a new and innovative space. Bitcoin's only been around for 13 years. It's really only been on the up and up since 2017.
Right.
If you look at 2012, the space was so small that it's
Same with
really
2015.
not really globally significant.
Right.
And so if you think of something that's really only been around since 2017, realistically on the global stage, you're talking about something that's 5 years old.
Right.
And so
baby?
the history for our sector is so small that there's not a lot of history to go on. And so as a young infant, or young teenager, you got lessons to learn. But going through these tribulations, gonna come out stronger on this.
Look, every industry does this, guys. Every single industry, especially a burgeoning one in the financial world. There's gonna be bumps, right? There's no laws or rules or regulation, or there's no blueprint. It's never been done before. So here we are. There's gonna be mistakes made. There's gonna be a lot of money to be made too, right? So you got to balance it out. Stefan said, "Stop the gambling and started with crypto." No comment. It's not gambling if you know you're going to win. Who said that? That was for that movie Hangover, right? Anyways, just real quick, because I think Rob and I are both over the Celsius thing, unless it's sunbreaking. But they moved, so they got their Bitcoin back. And if you pull up my laptop, Rocco, they got their Bitcoin back from MakerDAO, $529 million. They send it over to FTX. So people are speculating, oh, they're going to pay us back. Oh, blah, blah, blah. The question is, what will Celsius do with their withdrawn collateral? Keep it in reserve for customers or risk it to trade? If I had to pick one.
I know your old crazy conspiracy ass probably got something for this, right? Or you just think it's just natural? They just happen to send. How much Bitcoin was it? 200 million?
No. $550 million worth of Bitcoin.
$550 million worth of Bitcoin. Just
530,
left,
my
just
bad.
left to Celsius. The super corrupt, shady. We were just talking about, like, do you believe? And, with all of these damn problems and all his lawyers.
You think
and
the shark is in on this, bro?
and,
Shark Bank and
and you, Mr. Conspiracy Theory, don't think it's odd that they're sending it to FTX, the company that also
Robin, I
has
feel like
exposures.
conspiracy boiling in your soul. Go ahead, let it out, bro.
I don't
Tell me.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't have the yarn or the thumbtacks or the board over here putting it together. But all I'm saying
Tell us.
is I don't have a this happened and this is gonna happen. I'm more like analyze the facts and histories. So I don't really know where it's going. But I just know something smells funny. Do you agree?
I mean, look, detectives are trained to not believe in coincidences. And so this is a giant coincidence.
It's
Right? I mean,
hey, if they would have said it's a Coinbase or Binance, wouldn't have batted an eye. I'd have been like,
you think Sammy Boy is cutting a backdoor deal or something?
no, there's a lot going on with this man. And,
Who, Sam or Mashinsk?
both of them.
Yeah, I didn't conjure up a conspiracy theory on this one, bro.
I gave you ammunition to dive into a deep cave this weekend.
The cave.
You'll come back on Monday and be like, all right, guys. He's like, Gary Gensler is the head of the snake. The body is Celsius and ate a rat inside of the snake belly is FTX. I'm like, what?
What? It will make sense. Anyways. All right, let's move on. The FDIC is investigating Voyager for their insurance claims. If you're not familiar with the FDIC, stands for the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. This is what protects banks. This is what protects your money in traditional banks. That's where you see when you walk in your bank, up to 250,000 FDIC insured. It's a federal body. They insure your money up to 250K. They've launched a probe into Voyager for allegedly deceiving users. It may have sold, and in simple terms, they may have sold Voyager as FDIC insured. Now, read this and you tell me if this is Voyager selling themselves as FDIC insured. This is from Invest Voyager. This is their blog. December 18, 2019.
That is so
USD held with Voyager is now FDIC insured.
No, the image there is the one. Look at the image. They don't say theirs. Your USD.
Well, here's the thing,
It
too.
is yours.
But it's so misleading because it's not USD held with Voyager that's insured. It's USD held with Metropolitan Bank that's insured. This is why piece of shit, piece of complete shit. You steer people the wrong way. You give people false sense of security. I got nothing else to add. I hope the FDIC buries Voyager. I hope they bury them. I hope a judge takes over. I hope a judge realizes how irresponsible the CEO, everyone top down at Voyager is. And I hope they appoint a trustee to take over the bankruptcy proceedings. And I hope that they will take care of the retail investors first. Alameda Research, if they don't get their $75 million back, they'll be fine. But my friend over here who's got 60 grand in there, who decided to put every one of his paychecks in there for the last year and a half, he won't be fine. So I hope that's what happens. I hope the FDIC just buries Voyager.
Pull that up one more time. So, okay. Just to nail this one back one more time. That picture says your USD is FDIC insured. Now pull up my laptop. This is also from Voyager. It says FDIC insurance does not protect against the failure of Voyager. And then on top of that, here is the Metropolitan Bank that is holding the cash. FDIC coverage is available only to protect against the failure of Metropolitan Bank. FDIC insurance does not protect against the failure of Voyager. Go back to your picture again. Your FDIC, your USD is
Yeah, that's bad.
I do it. The facts are there, bro. We don't even need to discuss it. We can just show you screenshots, and then it's from the same website. From the same website. On one side of the website, it says FDIC assured. In a different part of the website, it says
because they
and
know
they
no
shuffle-
one's
they
gonna,
shuffle
no
it in.
one's no one's gonna read terms of service, man. That they know that. They know that. And they don't care. Like zero ethics, zero like just leading people to the slaughterhouse. That's literally what they did. Gave them a false sense of security, a false sense of hope that their money is safe when it was not. Voyager. All right. This next one, I'm going to show a video. This is our friend CZ. And when I say our friend, he doesn't know we're friends yet, but we're friends. CZ talking to Decrypt. He talked about a lot, but the segment I'm going to show you guys, about 2 minutes long, is he talks about the bailouts of other crypto firms and lenders and this and that. So without further ado, Rocco, we ready?
Yeah, we go.
Please go ahead. Enjoy.
Wrong. So I think any deal, is done. That's done. And any platform that can be acquired or saved is generally good for users. Mm-hmm. So this means that the users doesn't lose money, or hopefully lose less money, or doesn't have to lose money. They have a much more smooth transition onto a new platform, etc. So all of those things are good. So generally, most deals are good. Personally, for me and to a large extent for Binance, we like very simple deals. Mm-hmm. We like deals. Okay, look, what's your revenue? What's your user number? We don't like deals where, hey, I owe you this money. You pay me back this much money. You invest in me. I give you more money in loan, and then you bail me out. Why don't we just return all the money and go back to zero and talk about our net, who owes who money and who owes the guy. If I owe you money, then you owe some shares in my company. That's it. So we like those very simple deals. But again, it's not to say that complex deals are not bad. Some very complex deals are very successful. But my preference is always keep everything very simple, very straightforward, boil everything down to very basic core principles and go from there. So we look for very simple deals.
I know I keep pitting you against FTX, but I have to imagine that was at least a reference to, what just came out about them owing Voyager some money.
So that was surprising even to me, to be honest. I tried not to comment on our competitors, industry peers, but I would never do that type of deal. I would never say I would invest in a company and then you loan me some money. I would just not invest in that company. I'll keep my money. But again, nothing to say. It's not for me to judge if it's right or wrong, if it's good or bad. It might work for them, it might not. So, but it's just that we don't do those type of deals.
CZ is a smart dude, all right? And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, he'll never do wrong by anyone and he's spick and span clean. I'm not going to say that because you never know. But he's pretty much calling out Sam Bankman-Fried, right? And FTX saying, what the hell are you doing? I don't.
I mean, kind of makes a point, man. Your best run businesses are the simple ones, right?
Yeah. We make money on trading fees. Right? And you got Voyager over here degenning, lending out.
That's why, when you asked me earlier this week, who I feel more comfortable trading with, Coinbase or FTX, I'm going to go Coinbase. At face value, you feel like you know what you're getting,
Right.
I mean, they do have Coinbase Ventures, so I mean, they do have other,
but I believe that's
revenue
a separate
streams. Yeah, it is, but at the end of the day, it is all tied, man. The success of one company under your umbrella is inherent to the success of the other.
That's why, guys,
if Instagram goes down, Facebook is gonna
take a hit.
Yeah, probably. They would struggle to come out of that. If SpaceX completely crumbles, I mean, Tesla's gonna take a major fall.
Right.
So,
and that's why until all the dust settles. Personally, this is not financial advice, it's just personal advice. If you want to take it, it's up to you. Don't leave any money on exchanges. I don't care if you're a trader, a swing trader. There's plenty of ways you can hold your own private keys and also still trade in crypto, still swing trade, leverage trade. Well, maybe not leverage trade, but you get what I'm saying. Until the dust settles, because you never know who's next, guys. You never know who's next. These are not regulated firms. Binance is not regulated in the US. Coinbase is not regulated in the US as far as our crypto exchange. So we don't know what's going on under the hood. So until we figure it out and all the dust settles and we start coming back up, trading volume goes back up, then you can like, all right, this one looks strong. This one looks strong. I'm only going to use these ones. But until then, custody your own crypto. Let's move on. Blockchain.com. $270 million exposure to Three Arrows Capital. The CEO, Peter Smith, said in a letter to shareholders that 3AC is rapidly becoming insolvent. They're already insolvent. And the default impact is approximately $270 million worth of crypto and US dollar loans from blockchain.com. He also said the wallet provider and exchange remains liquid, solvent, and our customers will not be impacted. Yeah, tell me if you've heard that before. Again, blockchain.com, another place that custodies crypto. Take it off of there. Robin, you want to add anything else? Pretty straightforward.
Maybe another domino. Who knows?
I'm telling you guys, it's Three Arrows Capital and Celsius. Their hands are in so many pots. It's still early, guys. We're like a month in, a month and a half in. The Luna thing hasn't even fully rippled through the entire market. So be patient. Be extremely conservative. Now is the time to be extremely conservative until everything settles, and then you can start becoming more aggressive. Personal advice, of course.
Thank you. I forgot I got an account with the blockchain.com.
You do?
Yeah, I forgot.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I want half.
Thank you.
I'll take a 20%
Probably $50.
Thank you very much. Some bullish Ethereum news. Ethereum takes one step closer, which probably means a third step would be delayed, to software merge. Ethereum is one step closer to its long-awaited transition after the quiet completion of its second-to-last dress rehearsal, aka testnet, on Wednesday. After completing the test, the first block of transactions on the test chain received more than 94% acceptance rate. Someone from the Ethereum community said, "I would consider this for all instances and purposes a flawless merge. For reference, an upgrade needs at least 2/3 acceptance to pass. So while 94% isn't perfect, the level of performance would suffice for the actual merge slated in the next few months. The upgrade is expected to begin sometime between August and October. Sometime in 2 months, we'll upgrade. Now, will we see an August upgrade, Robin? Will we see more towards the August or October end of things?
I still think it's probably going to be late September.
Late September.
Mm-hmm. I think that's when the merge will happen.
Of 2023 or?
Shut up.
Oh, man. I don't know. I don't got much else to say, but it's good that, you know.
It's coming, man. It's coming, and it'll be here soon. And whether soon is September, October, or if soon turns into soonish and it becomes January, February, it's coming. And so at the end of the day, I'd rather them roll it out, get it right, than what we talked about at the beginning of the show, where we have the major collapse of some giant project or exchange. The last thing we need is for Ethereum to break. So get it right. You've already taken 3 years to release it. What's another couple months? You know what I mean?
And what's another 2 years? Good. All right. Last piece of news. SHIB. Launch it. Everyone and their mom is launching a stable coin. Didn't Aave just launch a stable coin?
The purpose.
Keep it in their own system, I guess. I don't know. SHIB launches stablecoin and reward token treat. The lead developer, Satoshi Kusama, has released a new update to the coin has released a new update to the community regarding his plans to launch stablecoins and reward tokens. The stablecoin will be Shi. All we're missing is a T at the end. Will not be affected by market fluctuations. Of course, they won't. For Shi, we have seen.
Here's my question: are they going to burn their own tokens, their own stable coins? That's what they're known for. Like, what? Here's my question: like, look yourself in the mirror, man. You are a meme coin. Stay there.
Well, they're trying to
Stop.
not be a meme coin, all right?
Like, look yourself in the mirror.
Well, what, people aren't allowed to change?
Here, pull up my
I-
laptop. Pull up my laptop. What this, man? Look yourself in the mirror. See what you really are. This is Shib. Don't you just going about life. And I'm a monster. I am a monster.
Are you be coming with these fire videos, bro? Post that on our Twitter, please, and tag Shib. That would be funny.
All right.
Oh, Joe Biden looks like he's getting ready to say blabber or something.
Gonna put a mirror on top in front of it.
That shit's hilarious, bro. That bear. We gotta bring back the slap burping video, bro. That was the funniest thing I think I've ever seen. I literally could not breathe. That's how hard I was laughing. We're an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information, and we package it up in fun and sexy way. What's up? All right. For Xi, we have seen independent development from a group of developers in our decentralized network. They sent a version of Xi that looks like it can avoid the problems found in other moonshots. When you use words like that, bro, when you're like, it looks like it can avoid the problems found in other moonshots. Anyways, and then the treat will act as a reward token for everyone in the SHIB ecosystem. I've always been more pro SHIB than Robin has. But just the bear market just like makes you like just push that to the side. And like the only thing I'm like, all right, their whole Shibarium thing, the metaverse thing, okay, like I want to see that come to fruition before I'm like, all right, you're more than a meme token. But for right now, launching a stable coin or a rewards token.
Here's my question. When is the Bored Ape Yacht Club launching a stable coin?
They
You know they're
started-
next.
They started with their game, man. Look, there's two ways, okay? You can either buy rights.
We don't need any more stable coin.
That is true. That
We
is
got Tether.
we got plenty.
And the more stable coins you have, the more diluted it is. And the strength of the stable coin comes from its market cap. And so as the market cap gets smaller because there's more and more stable coins, the more potential there is for a catastrophic loss, especially if it's not backed exactly one-to-one with cash and the liquidity is not there. So
All right. I got nothing else to say on that. We're moving on to the final segment of our show, the NFTs. Robinho, looks like we have a new person in our chat. I believe.
Isaiah. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
What's up, Isaiah? Thanks for saying hello. We are towards the end of our show. So pull up my laptop. OpenSea blacklisted $27 million worth of NFTs, including Bored Apes and Mutant Apes. Several token IDs and transactions of top NFT projects like Bored Apes, Mutant Apes, CloneX, Azuki, Moonbirds, Bored Ape Kennel Clun. What is Clun? Club. Were marked stolen or suspicious by OpenSea and in total worth about $27 million or 24,000 Ethereum. OpenSea blacklists an asset on its website. So this is OpenSea rolled this out, I believe, a month ago. And my timeline could be a little off. They opened this up about a month ago. And this is one of their security features. They blacklist an asset on its website and prevents it from being traded after someone reports the NFT is stolen. However, there have been several complaints stating that the platform arbitrarily marked NFTs without proper investigation, meaning that literally anyone can go in there and report their NFT as stolen. Earlier in July, one Twitter user demanded an explanation from OpenSea after they marked the person's asset as suspicious 88 days after repurchase. 88 days. This is so flawed, it's not even funny. Like, literally, I can go and report this stolen, and that person would literally... Imagine that happens during a big run-up. And you get a group of people together that try to manipulate the price of an NFT project and say, hey, look, there's 100 of us, or you can even create bots. Stolen. Now people can't sell it. Demand is going up. I mean, I don't know, bro. It's a bad idea. OpenSea, you're dropping the ball, man. You're about to get took over. There's so many projects, not just in the crypto and blockchain space, but in traditional finance that are coming in and they want to do an NFT marketplace. You guys are dropping the ball. You keep dropping the ball, you're going to lose your market dominance. Robin?
It's just report after report where OpenSea is
They're messing up, bro.
yeah, and
They're dropping the ball,
bro. And you know what? I keep saying it. Right now, you're at the top of the hill. You're sitting on your throne, whatever you want to call it.
Looking at the castle.
But it's only gonna be for so long, because at some point a competitor is gonna take the flaws and address those. And people that are tired and fed up of the flaws in this one are gonna look next door and be like, that problem doesn't happen over here, and they're gonna move over. So
Yeah, look what happened to Netflix. So,
oh, yeah.
this is the same story.
yeah, I mean, Netflix is on the way down. Like, do you think Netflix will ever be #1 streaming platform again? I mean, I feel like
Here's the problem.
The companies that do media the best are stepping up, and they're looking at what Netflix did
Netflix is stepping up the price of their membership. You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
Used to be $7. Now I got to pay $20. I'm canceling it.
I feel like, I always like their mailing the DVDs here. I know, I don't have DVD. I don't want DVDs.
Well, here's the problem.
I'm just saying, but maybe mail something else. Maybe
that's actually a good. That's a good.
mail me some like test cologne or something.
Yeah, that's a good. That's a good compare. That's a good comparison, because just like I said, in the NFT marketplace space, everyone's trying to come in. Just like when Netflix started booming, Disney did their own thing, streaming, Disney Plus, HBO, you had HBO Max, Prime, Amazon, Prime Video. So they're all doing their own thing. And now when Netflix was able to have Disney movies and Warner Brothers and HBO movies on Netflix, now those are being pulled off because everyone has their own streaming platform. So if you're not innovating and you're not moving forward, just like OpenSea, trying to innovate with this BS security feature, it's only a matter of time. I agree with Robin. All right, last one we're going to talk about. Reddit goes live with NFT avatar feature and look, marketplace. Everyone and their mom is doing a marketplace. Reddit has continued probing ever deeper down the NFT rabbit hole. Now taking to the blockchain with its own profile picture, marketplace, and onboard crypto wallet. And these will run between $10 and $100, and once purchased, users can then store them via Reddit's onboard vault wallet, display them on their profiles, and trade them openly on the secondary market. I'm going to play this little video, but I'm going to have the music muted for obvious reasons, because we had some issues with copyright. But
YouTube copyrights, they don't play around, man.
yeah. So, but the same thing, it's just some music background, and the text is still there. You can read it, but it's...
Would you like me to sing? Here, play it. Collectible avatars.
Shut up.
He's like, artist collection. Eyeball guy on the left.
No, don't do that. No.
Yeah. Custom designs by Redditors.
I'm gonna punch you.
Yeah. Border
for it.
offices.
Yeah,
Redditors.
enjoy the
Redditors.
video.
Reddit. Don't forget it.
Yeah.
Compatible with
OpenSea.
customizable and keychain, blockchain, head chain. No game.
Damn it.
Collect them all. Get them in your local McDonald's drive-thru.
But wait, there is more. If you call now with the Solana form.
You guys are so stupid, bro.
I think nobody watched the video.
Yeah.
Good one, man.
Man, that's why I love this show, man. We have fun. That was
Real quick, I do want to highlight some, NFT projects.
Okay, go ahead.
Stuff I saw here.
make it happen.
If we're gonna have an
What the
NFT,
fuck
if we're gonna have an NFT segment. No, this one's pumping, man.
What is
A
it?
ton of volume, bro. Ton of volume.
Go up.
Official.
We are going to make it army.
That's right. So here you got your little stick figure guys.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. So this
And
is
it's-
actually #2 on OpenSea for volume right now.
I don't know. And I think it's pretty original as far as the artwork.
Look at
It's
this,
not
like
a,
916
when was it minted?
ETH. I'm not sure.
Click on
Activity?
click on one of the NFTs, and then scroll down.
It's probably new if it has such high liquidity.
Scroll down. Keep scrolling down. Right. No. Yeah. Right there. Mint. Right there where it says item activity.
Mm-hmm.
Transfer. Scroll down on that.
Right here.
Yeah, but scroll down. There's one more. There you go. Minted a day ago.
Pretty new.
Not bad. 1,000 ETH.
Floor price is a tenth of an ETH, basically.
You know what?
$100
I'm gonna
bucks.
buy one. Those actually look kind of cool, man.
How much one are you gonna buy?
You want to buy one?
Yeah, see, this is where it is on. It just came out, so yeah, I'm down. I'll buy one.
The Possessed.
Which one do you want to buy?
Oh, remember Killer Bears? They wanted us to do a spot for them.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's
We gotta find a.
I like this Viking hat one.
Nah, screw that.
Also,
Anyways.
we have the Saint Degens. Here, this is on a Solana.
Oh God, that is
so,
not.
so you got Jesus with a chain, Jesus with the serpent from the hospital.
Serpent from the hospital.
Yeah, what is this called here? This little thing.
It's called Rocco. What is it called?
I don't know.
And then lastly, this one is actually looking pretty cool. This one is Wizards. So I don't know. Kind of like the artwork here. This poo on the end of this walking stick.
All right.
Anyways, I thought I'd take a look at some that caught my eye and some
Yeah, I
that are
like the one
trending.
the first one. What was the name of the first one again?
The first
The
one?
Wag Me Army.
Wagner Army. Okay, this one is pretty cool actually. It's like is a marker. I like it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Official Wag Me Army.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Rocco. Roll the outro music. Outro's out. Friends, family. Friends and family. Family of friends and everyone else. On behalf of myself, Robin, and Rocco, we thank you for spending your Friday and this entire week with us. We appreciate you guys. We know things are rough in the bear market, but we are growing. We'd love for you to be with us, grow with us. Until Monday, have a great weekend. We'll see you guys 10:30 a.m. Vegas time, Monday. Peace.
Missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D turned into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D turned into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Smoking on an island, say she wanna ride with me. Took her on a flight, said all her bags from Italy. I sent her with a friend, they shopping there religiously. Whoa, whoa, yeah. You say she love me, but that's when she rockin' Prada bag. Said she ready for the next step, whoa, not so fast. Slow down, slow down, slow down, girl, don't you crash. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Cause we can mess up that pretty face, but we can fuck up that pretty lady. Tryna kiss up, I'm in your place. Man, this shit so crazy. Never thought I'd be doing shit like this again. Put that effort in, girl, then I will pay you. Crash that thing out the park, now I feel like Babe Ruth, baby. This shit I can't do, baby. No, I can't move, baby. Nothing I can't prove, baby. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turned into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turned into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Question marks along your brain, wonder if you should try again. Look at me inside your braces. Can't focus when we face to face. Plenty things I could go say. Name a place I go and pay at. Said she want no boo. Been around the world, plenty things I can show you. Taking flights to GA for our soul food. Gotta pay 1K for GA at my shows too. Keep it 1K with my fans even at my lows. Ooh. That's why I'm back. Show your man the things I've showed you. Tell your man how I used to hold you, but I won't hold you. Your new man is lame and all I spoke is true. Life won't smoke for you. That sadness comes with coping too. This madness come with doing shit that's overdue. You strong by yourself, nobody else holding you. But I ain't holding you. You the one I need when I'm off that perk or two. Hit that thing early, got your sleep like curve for you. All these lame ass bitches I curve for you. All these packs and pearls I burnt with you. It's up now, baby, it's stuck. They can look, but they cannot. They gon' hate, so I keep that tuck. All this ice on me like pucks. I work hard, don't need no luck. Only thing I need is my Glock. When there's bread, these birds gon' flock. When they dead, I let them rot. I ain't tryna leave you up, I said stop waiting. And I don't got time for these pussy fuckers playing. You gotta read between the lines that I am saying. Ain't got no time for no more bullshit conversations. Cause I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas I goof off. Yeah. Ooh, it's running right on the wall. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas I goof off. Smoking on the island, say she wanna ride with me. Took her on a flight, said all her bags from Italy. I sent her with a friend, they shopping there religiously. Whoa, whoa, yeah. She say she love me, but that's when she rockin' Prada bag. Said she ready for the next step, whoa, not so fast. Slow down, slow down, slow down, girl, don't you crash. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Cause we can mess up that pretty face, but we can fuck up that pretty